Yo, what's up? It's Partis here. This is really a continuation of yesterday's video, but my road trip is taking forever because I got lost in the way, so I'm just gonna keep going. But anyway, I was thinking about working at the restaurant and, making most of working at a restaurant, because working at a restaurant, the value that I get from it is not just the exercise of being on my feet and, the money I make, which is, it's not a lot of money. It's just enough to keep me okay with a few things. It's not even enough for that. But the main value that I get from the restaurant is how to deal with a lot of people at once. How to deal with bosses, how to deal with people under you, how to deal with children, adults. There's all kinds of age groups that come to that restaurant, and all types of people, very high-end type of people, very cheap type of people, all kinds of people come in there. And really what I get from being at the restaurant is people skills, and discipline skills. So a lot of what your issues are in your personal life, in your business, in your personal life, those are going to come out when you're a restaurant server in ways that it might not come out if you're, let's say, just doing software development, or I don't know, if you're just a writer or something. When you're working at a restaurant, a lot of your deepest personal issues are going to come out. So if you're not very confident, that's going to come out as a server. People, when you go to wait your tables, people sense that. And so they build off of, they see that you're not confident enough in what you're selling them, because it's sales. And so that, that's one example of a quality that is going to be tested when you work in a restaurant. That's something that you can practice on, because every single table that you serve, that you work on, is going to be it's a chance to start new. And so it's something that you can perfect at a restaurant in a way that you can't perfect at a regular office job, where the first impression that you set of yourself is going to be the impression that sticks, because it's all the same people. So at a restaurant, you get to keep perfecting the impression that you set with people that you are waiting on. So that's really valuable. So confidence is one of them. Another thing is so I have this issue of time management, and the issue, it has to do with other people. When I'm with myself, I get a lot done, but when it comes to other people, for some reason, something in my brain, at some point, I've accepted the limiting belief that other people's time is more valuable than my time. So that's part of why I haven't really been so successful with other people. I'm a lot more successful on my own, because when I'm with myself, my time is very valuable, so I get a lot done. But when it comes to other people, I don't feel like my time is more valuable than their time. So let's say they keep me on the phone for hours, I never tell them oh, I have to get off the phone. And even if I do, I never make it serious enough, I have to go. You know what I mean? And this comes from childhood. I never felt like my time was valuable enough. You have to reteach yourself certain behavioral skills. And so for me, it's really hard for me to tell a guest that I'm going to their table and talking to them. It's really hard for me to tell them okay, I have another table that I have to go to. It was nice talking to you, I've got to go. It's really hard for me to do that without feeling like an evil person. You know what I mean? I feel oh no, I'm so evil, but I'm not. They're taking my time, but in my mind, I'm oh, but they're the customer. Their time is more important than my time as a server, right? But that's not true. Their time is not more important than your time. You've given them the time you needed in order to serve their table, the service you needed, and then you have to move on to the next table. Because if you spend all your time, and for me that's been a huge challenge, because at the restaurant, everybody wants to talk to me. I feel so overwhelmed in crowds, because I feel feel like, oh no, like I have to give all my time to this person now, and now there's going to be another person, I have to give my time to all that person. But it's like, until I learn to say no, or until, you know, without feeling mean, until I learn to say, all right, I have to go on to the next table, nice talking to you guys, bye, until I learn to like set that goodbye, next table, I'm always going to keep feeling overwhelmed around people. And that's a big issue that has been happening at the restaurant. And that's like the next, but it's been getting a little better, I think. But that's something that, you know, that's a skill that I've been able to work on at the restaurant that no other occupation is going to help me with. And it's priceless. Like, no matter how much money I make there, it's not more valuable than like this behavioral skill that I'm learning, that no one, like absolutely nobody, can teach me this skill. So yeah, there's a lot of other things. Working at a restaurant, working fast, learning how to put your tasks above feelings. There's a lot of emotions that are going to come across when you're working at a restaurant. It's a very high pressure, high stress environment. You're going to be around a lot of people that are like in a bad mood. Learning how to like not get bogged down by other people's emotions and to keep doing the thing you need to do. Whatever you need to do in order to like stay focused on the task at hand. The task at hand is, here is your section, serve your tables, do a good job, provide good service, memorize the menu, you know what you're talking about, at least look like you know what you're talking about. Don't be afraid of your tables. That's an issue that I've always had, is being afraid of people or showing fear. Don't show fear. You know, don't show that you think that their time is more valuable than your time. Again, it's like a confidence thing. And so, yeah, working at a restaurant is going to help you with that. If you can demand the things that you need to from your tables or from the people around you, you're going to be a lot better. And take it like a day at a time, like a step at a time, like focus on one skill at a time. So for me, it was first confidence, like showing the tables that I'm confident in what I'm talking about. That I feel like I've like pretty much mastered at the restaurant, to showing that like I know what I'm talking about. Dudes, I know what I'm talking about. So the next thing for me is time management, like showing table that I have to go now. Tables that like want to talk to me too much, like I really appreciate when they want to talk to me, but they are taking away from me. They're taking my money by talking to me, because when you're a restaurant waitress, you're not getting paid hourly. You're getting paid based on tips, and you can only make tips as long as you're working fast and as long as you're moving from table to table. And so if they're not letting you do that, they're taking away your money. That's like the thing that I'm working on now. And there's also like the power of negotiation, like negotiating hours with your boss. In previous jobs, like I've had trouble negotiating with my bosses, like what I needed. You know what I mean? At this job, like I've learned that I can ask for certain things, and my bosses will listen to me as long as I show that I'm committed and I'm serious, and like, in order for me to work for them, as long as they adhere to like these needs that I have, this schedule that I need, this sort of amount of flexibility that I need, and as long as I adhere to that, I'm always going to show up to work on time. I'm always going to be there, like when I say I will, and like they're going to get at least my best service that I could possibly provide, and then I'm going to keep like working on myself and trying to improve. So yeah, anyway, hope that was educational enough. And also, like, another thing about time management is like not always being tempted by the other servers to like go out for drinks with them, because like one thing I realized about myself is like I really don't enjoy drinking. Like it bothers me even when I'm there. It bothers me knowing that like I'm gonna feel bad about it later and I'm gonna have a stomachache later. So like when people say, hey, want to go out with us, for me to say honestly, I have to go home. And they're gonna be like, oh, why? What do you have to do at home? This is like a thing that people do a lot with me, you know, because they sense fear, they sense doubt, you know what I mean? Because I don't show that, like, I think my time is important, you know what I mean? So they're like, what do you have to do at home? You know, and I'm like, you know, oh, I guess I'll calm out for a few minutes. It's like, no, like, showing that your time is important and that you have to go on to the next thing, and just like insisting it and not waiting for explanation to like give them an explanation. So, yep, that's it. Hope you guys are having a great day, and hope like this is like somewhat motivating. And anyway, see you guys in the next video. Good morning, y'all. It's a beautiful day in Dallas, and I'm on my way to meet a prospective business partner. And I don't know if I told you about this. Gosh, why do my cheeks look so weird? So I don't know if I told you about this, but I've been looking for a business partner, and I met this guy randomly at a coffee shop, and I realized like I had so much in common with this guy in terms of like our background and our experience in marketing. And he had the exact tools I needed in a business partner to start what I've been wanting. And it turns out, after talking to him for a few hours, I found that he has the same exact, not the same exact, but a very similar vision as I do. And he comes with a lot of knowledge that I don't have. And I find this incredibly exciting. Like, it's very valuable, and like I really hope we can create something amazing. And if we don't, like, I shouldn't beat myself up about it, because like there's, you know, whenever one door closes, another opens, and all that stuff, you know. But I'm really excited, and I hope it works. And so I'll let you know how that meeting goes. But so I wanted to tell you, the topic of this video is actually my fitness routine. And like, I look so bad in this one. Like, I actually don't look very fit. I feel like I have this weird puffy chin. It's like a waking up chin. Cheeks, I look kind of fat actually. But if you look at my body, I'm pretty fit. You know, my you know, everything looks in good shape, especially lately. And I wanted to tell you what I do, what my routine is. And like, you know, no matter what happens, every single day, you know, with the exception of recently, there's been just stuff happening because of like the restaurant and all this, you know, stuff that you saw in my videos. But I try every single day without exception to go to the gym, because not only for my fitness, my physical fitness, but for my mental health. It's like the one thing that no matter what happens, it could lift me out of whatever mental funk I'm in. So going to the gym every single day, usually I spend like an hour. I spend not more than like 30 minutes on treadmill, and then the rest of the time I'm really just stretching, you know, doing strength exercises, my, you know, leg lifts or whatever, stuff like that, squats. I should do more push-ups. I don't do enough of that. I do ab stuff. That's one thing that's really important to me, is my core strength. So basically spend about an hour at the gym every day. And then the rest of that is really just, there are 3 things I don't eat. Like, no matter what happens, I can't have this in my diet. The 3 things are any sort of wheat product, anything wheat, like wheat or barley. So no bread, no pasta, no rice. So 3 things that are actually not just wheat, or, you know, like just no carbs. Like, and I know it sounds like, oh no, how can I do that? But there are plenty of really yummy, delicious foods that don't have carbs in them. And I will have sugars. Sugars are a lot easier to digest than carbs. carbs will waste a lot of your energy, and it's better to try to stay away from sugar, but I just love sugar too much. You know, I have coffee, I have my lattes, I love it too much. So that's kind of the compromise I make, is I just completely cut carbs. I will eat potatoes, although I try to avoid potatoes. So really my diet consists of meat and vegetables. And actually I haven't been so perfect, because I've been eating stuff at the restaurant that's like gluten-free, and usually the gluten-free stuff is not carb-free. It's just like wheat-free. So so I have been cheating. Maybe that's why you see these like cheeky stuff on me. But I'm still in good shape, and I would really credit that to meat and veggies, and you know, because of money reasons, I haven't been eating a lot of meat. I've been mostly leaning on the veggie side, which is why I've been kind of like weakish. But I would strongly encourage, like, if you want strong muscles and all that stuff, and don't worry about the fat content, the fatty content. Fat is good for you. Another thing I've been doing is, instead of, you know, normally when I go to a coffee shop or whatever, and they say, would you like whole milk or regular milk? Usually I would say like, or like what they would say, would you like whole milk or skim milk? I would always ask for skim milk. But now, recently, I've been asking for whole milk, because I'm recognizing that fat is good for you. Fat, you know, as opposed to just carbs, is actually good for you. And if you're having a diet that is carb-free, then you can make up for it with fats, and you can make up for it in enjoyment. You know, the food tastes better when it's fatty. You know, your fatty meats and stuff like that, it's yummy. But then also, it's actually good for you. And I've heard in a lot of places, like, people saying that if you have fatty foods, if you replace your carbs with just fat, you lose weight. And so I've been trying that. I've been trying, like, you know, I'll eat meat and it used to be that I would like take the fat off when I would eat meat, but recently I've been eating the fat, and I've been like having only whole milk instead of skim milk. And so, like, I'm seeing the difference. Like, I'm seeing it in my body. I'm really in the best shape I've ever been. My body, at least. I don't know what's going on with my cheeks. They're like swollen almost. But so yeah, replace carbs with fat as much as you can, and don't try dieting. Like, don't like measure the amount that you eat, because naturally when you don't eat carbs and you just replace it all with like veggies and meat and things like that, naturally after a while your stomach is gonna tighten up and you're gonna eat less. Like, you're not gonna be as hungry, because I find that carbs make people hungrier. Carbs will make you hungrier. They'll make you more tired. Your body is working harder. Your stomach grows bigger. So I'm not an expert. This is literally just me experimenting on my own body. So, you know, do with it what you will. I was not fit always. Like, I used to, when I was in high school, I weighed 144 pounds in high school. And I was a few inches shorter than I am now. I was like max 5'4", and now I'm 5'7", 5'7.5", and I'm way less than 144. I'm like maybe like 130, 135 maybe, like, you know, and that's with being taller. So this is what I did in order to like get to that place. Is I just try to be more active, just walking more or going to the gym more. And, you know, I have this restaurant job which keeps me on my feet. Woo! That was a big bump. And the other thing is really just cutting out carbs and eating whatever you want outside of it. You can do whatever you want. You can go have, you know, and I eat corn. That's the one thing I will eat. Like, so I'll have corn tacos, but I try to avoid that. Like, so if you have to eat carb, you know, like, cause usually it's not just the corn product like tacos and things like that, there's going to be other stuff in it. So I try to avoid it because usually there's always like some wheat product that creeps in to your food, and especially when processed foods, it's never just that one vegetable that they're saying, like, oh, cauliflower crust pizza, and then I eat it thinking that like, oh, this is fine, and then I look at the ingredients and it's really like, I don't know, like packed with rice flour or whatever other starches and flour. So like I try to avoid that shit as much as I can, and just stick to like meat and veggies, and eat as much as you want. Just splurge on meat and veggies. And it's gonna be more expensive too, so good luck. Working at this restaurant, I find that it's like easier because like I don't have to worry about money because I pretty much get food for free. Like, we still have to pay, but it's very little. So if you could find like a cost-effective way of just eating meat and veggies, and just try it for a while and see how you feel, see how your body feels. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love your body. And yeah, so, and if you're so fat that like if you lose weight you have like skin hanging and it's saggy, then really try the treadmill, because that really helps with like stretch marks and like saggy things. And that's, again, I'm not an expert, so this is literally just what I do. So yeah, next step for me is I really want to build up my muscles, and I want to build up my strength, my core strength, like I did before. Like I was doing pole dancing before, and that really helped me build up strength, which stopped me from having back pain. So I want to get back into that whenever I can have more time and I'm not focused as much on the money stuff. When I'm able to relax a little bit and not worry about money, I want to start going back to my pole dancing classes and like build up my core. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let me know in the comments if like there's anything that you guys have found helpful. I know some people don't want to cut carbs, so maybe you could just do like a measurement of like, I mean, there isn't really a way to go around it. Like, carbs are gonna make you fat. There isn't, like, I always see people, it's so funny, I always see people who are like, yeah, I'm so fat, I don't know why, no matter what I do, I can't lose weight, I don't eat anything. And it's like, they don't eat much, but like the only thing they eat is carbs. Like they'll eat like a donut, or like they'll eat a croissant or a sandwich. It's like, okay, well, there you go. Like, you don't eat anything, you don't really enjoy life, but like the only thing you're eating is carbs. You're wasting all your calories on carbs. Like, it's like, don't do that. Eat whatever you want, minus carbs. Like, carbs are just a really expensive, like low enjoyment food. You're for the amount of enjoyment you're getting from eating carbs, you're not actually benefiting that much, and it basically cuts out the rest of how how leisurely you could be with your food. All right, so I'm at this cafe, my favorite cafe, where I met this guy, and I'm gonna go inside, and I will see you guys later and in the next video. Okay, bye. Like this video.